Good morning to everyone, guys. Okay, we're gonna start with this socialization process regarding the contents evident on the Moodle platform. Okay, so I am sharing the screen. You already know how to access Moodle. In this moment, I am in the phase 4 from the Instruimos platform, 10th grade, and I will start with globalization. Talking about the content, I want to let you know, I want you to get familiarized with some important vocabulary, okay? So I am gonna read the information in English and you will have the chance to observe the meaning in Spanish, okay? So, when we talk about this topic, there are some specific vocabulary. When we talk about globalization, there is some specific vocabulary that is going to help us improve our comprehension and expansion of our vocabulary. Okay, so the first one is understanding, trade agreement, free trade agreement, global network, migration, immigration, international law, economic bloc, free trade area, economic union, deregulation, international monetary fund, the World Bank, the World Trade Organization, international trade agreement, international system, global trade, social network, customs, consumer goods, stock exchange, and marketing, merchant, and tradesman. In here, we have some vocabulary, important vocabulary regarding the globalization topic, okay? We also have commerce, trade, trading. We have foreign, international trade, domestic, competitiveness, economic trend, devaluation, economic, economist, developing, advanced technology, scarcity, speculation, right? We also have stagnation, stocks, export and exportation, exporter, that is the person who does it, the manufacturer, the capital flight, the rate of growth, the infrastructure, harvest, and the trade. Shipping route, vital, and trend. Okay, important vocabulary for expressing our ideas depending on the purpose. Okay, let's continue now with the economy. Here, when talking about the economy, we also have some important vocabulary to highlight. Okay, so attention here. When talking about economy, we have share, shareholder, a stockholder, the creditor, the customs, the saving, the bank, the profit, yes, the consumer goods, the bill, the marketing, the merchant, the tradesman, the commerce, the trade, the trading, the domestic, the purchase, the buyer, the consumer, the consumption, accounting, bookkeeping, taxpayer, cash, change, manufacturer, earnings, income, tax feed, trademark, market, monopoly, to pay in cash, purchasing power, buying power, wholesale price, and finally retail price. Okay. Oh, we have some others in here: the loan, the budget, the tax collector, the insurance, the underdevelopment, the transfer, the dealer, the sale, and the cash sale. Okay, important vocabulary. I repeat again, depending on the purpose and the way we want to explain them. Okay, now when talking about the future perfect, remember guys, we have worked this topic in our classes. When we talk about the future perfect, we are talking about possible situations that can take place in the future, a kind of projection that we make. For this process, we gotta analyze if we're talking about interrogative, negative, positive situations in order to follow the accurate structure. Okay, and here we have some examples. Do you think you will have finished it by next Thursday? Yes. In 5 years, I'll have finished university and I'll be able to earn some money at last. Okay, some examples in there. If you analyze them, we are talking about some projections for the future. Okay, I think astronauts will have landed on Mars by the year 2020. I'll have finished in an hour and then you can use the computer. Okay, I promise I'll have done all the work by next Saturday. Okay, and in here, as I just mentioned, depending on our purpose, if it's a negative interrogative, if it's interrogative, if it's positive or negative, in here we have the structure depending on the purpose. Okay, it is important to clarify those structures in order to have a better knowledge about the topic. Okay, let's move on now into the demonstratives. Okay, hey Andres, what are the demonstratives? The demonstratives are words that indicate the distance from which an object or a location is. If one thing or several things is near or far away. Okay, in here we have this, thus, that, and those. This and that are used for the singular expressions, and this and those are used for plurals, depending on how far or near are they from us. Okay, in here we have some example. This wall is clean. This car is fast. That house is white. That canyon is huge. These plants are poisonous. The cubes are lovely. Those mountains are too far. And those guys are soldiers, okay? Depending on the number, we also can use those and these to express plurals. And in here, we have some exceptions, okay? The highest of such wood can reach 60 minutes, okay? That such means tales, okay? So we can start observing it from there. And of course, the comprehension is gonna be much more better. Okay, when we talk about or when we want to make reference to ninguno, on the ninguno we use none. None of this cell phone has worked fine for me. All right, and we can move this, that, this, and those depending on the purpose and our intention, what we want to show. Okay, so in here, look at it. This is my brother. That game is cheap. We're still making reference to the position, how far or near are some specific things from us at a determined point. Okay. Let's continue now with the reported speech. Hey Andres, what is the reported speech? I don't remember that at all. The reported speech, guys, it's when we want to report something that a person said. For example, Andres, the teacher says, tomorrow is the exam. So your best friends your best friend who couldn't attend the class, he asks, hey, when is the exam? Oh, the teacher told us that tomorrow is the exam. So we report the situation that we listen from other people in order to let the others know something about the topic. Okay, so in here we have some examples. This is the indirect speech or when we want to report something. Okay, I want you to focus on this square because it is interesting. Okay, so the tense in present simple, I like ice cream. But when we want to report that situation from what another person said, we said, she said she liked the ice cream. Okay, she said that she liked the ice cream. So if we are reporting there the situation. In here, we gotta analyze the verbal time in which the situation is being presented, because when we clarify the moment or the verbal time in which the situation is occurring, of course, we will need to adapt the reported speech according to the verbal time expressed. Okay, so for example, in the past continuous, I was walking along the street. But when we want to report that, we said, she said that she had been walking along the street. It depends a lot on our purpose and the ideas that we intend to transmit, okay? Now, let's move on into the important modal verbs. They are many, and they are really important and fundamental depending on the purpose, okay? The modal verbs are can, poder, be able to, ser capaz de, can't, no poder, could, something that you podrías hacer, may and might are also expressions for podría, depending on how hypothetical or possible are those things from happening. We can use any of them, okay? We have might, we have must that shows an obligation, have to that means something required, need a necessity you have, needn't of course is the negative form of need, mustn't the negative obligation about something, don't have to and should are perfect opportunities to should advisors or something that we are trying to help a person to do, okay? So in there, guys, we have different situations depending on our purpose. This table is really interesting because in here we can observe the uses from each of those modal verbs, and in here we have some examples that are going to give us the possibility to recognize in what specific situations we need a determined modal verb, okay? Finally, we have argumentative text. When we talk about argumentative text, my dear students, we are talking about the kind of text where the writer or the study from a particular case is trying to provide some information, is trying to present general perspectives about a particular topic. So in here, it is important to analyze the types of arguments that we have, okay? If our argument is a cause and effect, is a personal experience where we are talking to present some positions about the topic, yep. So in here we have an example. As online learning becomes more common and more resources are converted to digital form, some people have suggested that public libraries should shut down and in their place, everyone should be given an iPad with an e-reader subscription. Okay, so look at it. They are talking about how have been books working throughout history and what is the current perception considering the implications of technology, okay? Proponents of this idea state that it will save local cities and town money because libraries are expensive to maintain. They also believe it will encourage more people to read because they won't have to travel to a library to get a book. They are presenting some examples. Maybe we agree with them, maybe we don't, but in here we can observe how arguments try to reinforce the original position. They can simply click on what they want to read and read it from wherever they are. They could also access more materials because libraries won't have to buy physical copies or books. They can simply rent out as many digital copies as they need. Okay, so in here, guys, we have a example of the different categories evaluated in the phase 4 from Instruimos, these related to 10th grade. Okay, now just in a while, I will continue with the contents from 11th grade. I'm just clicking out now so we can look for the accurate password and username in order to access and to show you, yes, what is supposed to be the phase 4 from Instruimos for 11th grade. Okay, so again, I'll repeat the process. And here we go. And we will do it now.